Hello everyone, and welcome to round 2 of the opening match in the round of 16, for the Philadelphia StarCraft League. Starting in the upper left-hand corner, the Zerg player wearing the red war paint is Tenda. He was our winner last round, and is a 1-0 lead over his Protoss opponent. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of King Sejon Station is our orange Protoss player, Char. Now, last round we saw a very standard game come out of both of these players. Zerg expansion. We saw the Protoss player do a Forge Fast expand and wall in at the natural of Overgrowth. Then, once the Zerg player had seen that the Protoss had expanded to the natural, he took his third, and it became a very standard macro game. Now, at about the 8 or 9 minute mark, the Protoss player had produced a starport and was pumping out Phoenix to try and gain map control and reduce the amount of vision the Zerg player had over him. Once the vision had been taken care of, the Protoss player then began building a Dark Templar shrine. This was immediately scouted, and the Zerg player put down spore crawlers and overseers in all of his bases. Our Protoss player Char poked out with a handful of zealots, but was unable to seal the deal. A very aggressive counterattack came from the Zerg player, and a handful of Zerglings and Hydralisk reinforcements were enough to close the game for our Zerg player. It looks like we have a very aggressive forward pylon. This will block the expansion for the Zerg player, and any Zerg player playing against Protoss knows that this is extremely annoying. Protoss player pokes in and sees that there is no early pool, but it does go down. Oh, no, he did see the pool. My apologies. Again, the Protoss player harassing and delaying the natural. His natural goes down first, and this should move us into a very standard macro game. Protoss taking 2 gas before the Cybernetics core. This will open up a lot of the tech paths and a lot of heavier gas units. We did not see very much sentry use last round, and I think if he decides to do that this round, it will help him a lot, especially against the speedlings that Tenda seems to favor. Again, as I mentioned last round, a best of 3 tournament style setup is very interesting because you get a feel for your player in the first round, and then you make decisions based on how they played in the second round. Now, we saw some very early aggression from Char in the last round, and I think Tenda will be expecting this again. Therefore, he has not taken his third base yet, which would be a very predictable move for a Zerg player. I believe he's going to get out a few units to defend against the Protoss player. We have not seen a tech choice come out of the Protoss yet, but he does not have enough gas to make such a decision. Good wall in, got the one zealot watching. Injects from the Zerg player. Drone over here waiting to start the third. I believe he will as soon as he has enough money. And he does. He can be reasonably confident that there will not be very strong early aggression in this game. Moving into a very standard macro. Twilight Council going down for the orange Protoss player. We only have the 1 gateway at the moment. Now, this is interesting. I would have expected to see a few more gateways started, but I think he knows what he's doing. Taking a third gas, a couple Zerglings poke in, don't yet have the speed upgrade, but they will see that the expansion is there, and that there's only a handful of probes working on it right now. Pokes at one of the probes, takes off. Mothership, of course, stabs at the Zergling, will not get the kill. He has gotten all the scout he needs, and is standing sentry, waiting to see if there is any aggression coming. Zerg player saturating his natural, taking the second gas. Another Dark Shrine coming down from our Protoss player. A very interesting decision. Has this been scouted? Yes, it has. The Overlord is floating over and he sees absolutely everything. There are not any Stalkers here in the base to take him down. Oh, we do have a Stalker here. Slowly taking down the Overlord, but he has already got all the information he needs. I believe we will see a reaction coming out of the Zerg player. Yes, immediately Spore Crawlers go down in the mineral line at the natural. Lair technology coming up in the main base. This will open Overseers to prevent those Dark Templar from doing an excessive amount of damage. Roach Warren goes down. In the natural of all places, the Zerg player has taken both gases in his main and natural. This will open a lot of choices for him in the late game. Once that lair is finished, we'll see what tech path our Zerg player has decided to use. He could go Mutas, he could go Infestors, even Swarm Hosts would be a good choice at this point. Here come the Dark Templar moving out towards the natural, or towards the third base, sorry. Zealot getting caught out here in the open. The Dark Templar go straight for Spore Crawler, and the drones have surrounded it to prevent them from getting connections, but they do destroy it. They will take down the Queen, and will they begin focusing down the third? No, they are going to retreat as they see an Overseer being prepared. Zerglings get a surround on 2 Dark Templar, and let's see how that went. Few workers killed, not too awful many. Resources lost are about even. Several Zerglings and drones lost for the Zerg player. Was this Dark Templar rush worth it? I believe it put him back on his heels, and it did allow the Protoss player to expand on the back of this into his third base. This was worth it. Overseer floating through the middle, getting a full view of the Protoss player's base. We see 2 robotics facilities coming down. A Void Ray will chase this Overseer away. Groove Spines coming out for the Hydralisks. Zerglings poking in to see if they can find an opening in the defenses. A couple Roaches coming with, not enough to make much of a difference. Zerg player taking 2 more gases. It looks like he's going to go with a Roach Hydra combo. Zerglings poke in, handful of units here in the Protoss base. Once that Archon finishes, those Zerglings will not stand a chance. The Photon Overcharge goes down, which I believe was his intent. Very well done. The Zerg player is controlling this game very well. The Protoss player's poke out did allow him to take a third, but having seen the third base go down and the amount of resources spent to it, the Zerg player can safely take his 4th. Void Ray chasing away an Overseer. I think he will get it. Infestation Pit going down for the Zerg player, and +1 melee attacks. We have not seen any upgrades as far as damage or shields for either player yet, except for the +1 range and +1 melee for Protoss. Another Overlord going down. This Void Ray is just picking off everything he can get his hands on. He'll have a 3rd kill. Zerglings are frustrated as they run around. Hydralisks are moving in to get a couple shots at the Void Ray. If he does not micro this correctly, it will go down. He retreats. A good call. A couple Zerglings poking in, see what they can see. Got a handful of Immortals here. Now, Immortals, they do well against Hydralisks, but they suffer damage way too quickly from the very fast attacking Hydralisks, so it's kind of give and a take. We do not see too many Roaches, which the Immortals are very good against. Zerg player moving drones over to his 4th base, taking double gas. Again, very standard. Sonic Storm coming in for the Protoss player. The proxy pylon is taken out. Hallucinated Phoenix flying in to get view of his Zerg opponent, making sure that the 5th is not down already. Does he know about the 4th? He does not, but he can probably guess. Sizable army being built here for the Protoss player. Let's take a look at the army supply. A distinct advantage for the Protoss. If he were to push out now, he may have a chance. Pretty solid composition. Got a few Templar here with those Psionic Storms. The +1 upgraded Archons will take care, and the Charge Lot Zealots will take care of those Zerglings very quickly. There is our Hydralisk Roach combo. +1 armor coming in, and Vipers. We've got a Spire on the back. We could see a Mutalisk switch, and the Zerg player will poke out with a little bit of aggression and take a 5th on the back of this. Protoss player takes a 4th, and I think the Zerg knows it is coming. Another proxy pylon spotted. As soon as it goes down, it will get destroyed. Cancelled. Very good control from the Protoss player. Adrenal glands coming down for our Zerg player. This will increase the effectiveness of Zerglings. Zergling scout staying right in the middle of the Protoss army. He sees this aggression come and he starts falling back. Immediately we see 6 Hydralisks come down and a Baneling nest. A little late for that, but it should be interesting. High ground advantage for the Zerg player. Takes those Zealots, absolutely melt. Good blinding clouds. Sonic Storm. Ooh, the Zerg player eats the Sonic Storm fully. The Mothership Core goes down with a pull from the Viper. Those Zealots go in. It looks like the Protoss player might have a numbers advantage in this fight. He gets stuck on the ramp underneath the blinding cloud. The Vipers go down. The Sonic Storms drop right in the middle of the Zerg army. We have 22 Roaches coming in. Unfortunately, that is way too many Roaches for those... way too many Immortals for those Roaches to handle. Protoss player using very good control, keeping all of his units together. Hydralisk waiting at the top of the natural ramp. Archons out front, getting good connections. GG is called by Tenda. Round 2 goes to Char. This brings our match to 1-1 and will be followed by an ace match. Very exciting opening for the Philadelphia StarCraft